Okay, everybody, let's try this again. I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Live Q&A with the Dice Tower. January 15th, 2018, halfway through January. We are 24th done with the year. And let's see. So, now I got to say everything I just said all over again, but let me see if I can remember it. There's a live Q&A. You can ask questions. We will answer them. If you have any questions, I'm not going to answer any questions right now in regards to conventions. We will be talking about that soon. We'll be announcing which conventions we're going to. But for now, I'll be taking other questions about different various things. So go ahead and ask them, and we'll get started. It's a normal week for us. This is an odd thing. I'm not preparing for a marathon or preparing for the Kickstarter or preparing for a convention. There's not too many of those weeks in the year where none of those three things seem to be true. But that's what's going on here. No questions as of thus far, but I'll be looking here. The sound went out again, some people might think. All right. Tom, I heard you say the next Dice Tower cruise will be in February 2019. Is that true? That is true. It's only a year away. So we are really close to opening it up for registration. So it's going to go quickly because we are opening it up to people who went last year first. And then if you want to get on a waiting list, you had to email Jason. That's at dicetowercruise@gmail.com. So if you want to get on that waiting list, you can talk to Jason, and then we're opening it up to everybody else. Tom, are you going back to hate? No, I don't really believe in hate. Why would I go back to it? Have I recovered from the marathon? I have recovered from the marathon. Actually, I was pretty much recovered on Saturday. One good night's sleep, I was fine. Should we just add Tuscany to Viticulture from our first play, or is it worth playing the base game to start? I might play Tuscany Essentials version right away, but I've taught people with the expansion many, many times because I won't play without it. Sam did the unboxing today. Is that going to be a thing where you rotate between you guys? Different people will do it at different times. I think every video this week is from Sam. I think many of the videos next week are from Z. Just whoever's unboxing at any given point in time. Hi, Tom. I'd like to support the Dice Tower Kickstarter, but I'm not interested in any of this stuff. Can you make a higher pledge level than the $1 level that comes without anything? Well, no, but you can just go in there, and instead of pledging, you can go to that $1 pledge, and then you can pledge $5,000 if you want to. You don't have to pledge just $1. You can pledge more than that. On your recent marathon, was there a stream at the beginning of Seventh Continent? No, the Seventh Continent video just took a long time to process. I believe if you go look at it now, you should be able to see the beginning of it. If not, we're working on these videos, and this week we're going to be posting all the individual games as individual games on our channel. When will you do a top 10 pop culture video? I think we just did one a few weeks ago, the best pop culture of 2017. I'll be glad to do one, but I kind of need like a good idea for it. Let's see here. Is the Kickstarter going as well as you expected? I never expect that a Kickstarter will do well, so I'm always thankful that it does as well as it does. Why do board game production companies have so much trouble supplying popular games? Even older games like Orleans seem to be impossible to find in stock because it's really hard. Not that many people buy these games as you think they do, so if they sell out, for example, let's say there's a game that sold 10,000 copies and they want to print more, but really there's only like 300 or 400 people who want more, and that seems like a lot to print games for, and you're going to make money. Games go out so quickly, people complain, you're never quite sure if a game's going to be popular. It's a very hairy thing. I wouldn't very rarely, I do sometimes, but very rarely blame a publisher for not having a game in print because it's such a guessing game. What games do you think would work well with the Kickstarter card holders? Man, I mean, any of them. Where's the card holder? So here's one of the. Here they are. I got them both here in front of me. So they're actually quite big. I think obviously Catan would work with both of these. There's slots for 6 cards. Maybe something like Eldritch Horror would work really well with them. And even games with just 1 or 2 decks of cards work with them. But I think it's really cool that you can fit stuff in. And these are really, I mean, these are really sturdy and nice. So I like them a lot. Have you checked out the Kickstarter for Western Legends? I had a look at Western Legends. Not a very strong look, but a look at it later last year. And it looks really fun. For the winners of the marathon drawing, when will we be notified about prizes shipping? I don't know if you'll be notified at all. I have not yet even sent the prize winners to the companies. That's on my to-do list for tomorrow. So they should be sending that stuff out to you in their time. Tom, I understand your hipster thing. My favorite Uwe game is Le Havre. I wish it wasn't yours as well. Can you like something else instead? Nah, I'll think about it. Let's see here. If you could go back in time 50 years, which game would you teach the people of the past? That's kind of an intriguing thing, right? So 50 years ago would be 67, right? No, 77. No, that's not 50 years. That's 67. I can't do math. I don't know how board game would take off in 67. I would just be, I mean, if I could go back in time, I would find a game that was extremely popular and invent it 2 years before it came out in real life. And then say, put this money in a bank account, and in the year 2000, invest all of it into Google stock and put it in the name of Thomas Vasel. And then I would come back to the future and I'd be like, am I so wealthy? What is this? How long did you sleep after the marathon? I slept 8 hours, which was a pretty long time for me. Let me see. I think I'm going to have to go in here and ban someone. Doesn't look like there's any moderators right now. Maybe not. No, there it is. I won't ban you. I will just put you in timeout. Okay, so, I'm 5 minutes behind already. Okay, let's see here. I appreciate everyone liking the Board Game Geek Top 100 run-through. I wasn't quite sure how people would take that, but it seemed to have worked pretty well, so I will imagine that we will do this again as time goes by, or something similar to that. Let's see, what's the next top 10 video with you, Sam and Z? It's going to be our top 10 two-player games. We're going to be doing 2 of those, casual two-player games, and then more of a strategic two-player games. My favorite thing the Dice Tower does every year is the 100-plus publisher interviews at the Gamma trade shows. Is there any hope of that happening this year? We will see is where we're at with that regards right now. Again, I'll be talking about what conventions I'll be going to very shortly this week. What was my favorite moment from the marathon? My favorite time in the marathon was when we came in at 4 in the morning, and me and Melody and Stephen Bonacore and Mark Street, and we just played games for 3 quiet hours, and then people started showing up around 7 or 8 in the background, but it wasn't until 9 or 10 so we played a good chunk of time just in the quiet of the morning, and I really liked that. That was easily my favorite time, and that 7th Continent game was so good. When we finished that 7th Continent, if someone, it took 3.5 hours, and if someone had said, do you want to play more 7th Continent? I would have said yes, easily. It was not only a fun game, everyone in it was good. We didn't have there was no alpha game. It was just a great game. It was a lot of fun. Why do I hate Fallout? I don't hate Fallout. I should say I never played it. I played Fallout years ago. I thought it was okay. I just, the future thing didn't do as much for me as Skyrim. I really like the fantasy theming of Skyrim, so that just worked better for me. Will the Twitch channel mean more live plays? The Twitch channel doesn't mean more live plays, but we plan to do more live plays regardless. Do you plan to add more Kickstarter rewards, specifically additional dice towers? Probably not. We already have enough dice towers as it is, and the dice towers have never been the most popular reward, so getting too many different types is problematic. Okay, I'll answer this question again. Tom, would it be possible to add the title of your daily unboxings? I understand it would spoil it somewhat, but now it's kind of confusing. It's not confusing at all. You can watch it. If you want to know what the game is, it's in the description. It is literally there. So I don't know that there's any confusion about it at all, unless you're just randomly letting videos play. So that is what I've decided to do, and I'm going to hold fast to it. Will you make a video for being in YouTube for 10 years on January 25th? Was my first video January 25th? I'm now going to go and look at that because I don't remember what my first one was. So view, and I'm going to have to go to the end of my videos here. So that's page 2. But I want to go to page like 200. Let's see where that takes me. You can't browse beyond this page. Okay, so I can't do it from here. Maybe I can do it from the Dice Tower channel page itself. So if I click on the Dice Tower channel page, this is fascinating, riveting stuff. So I click on the Dice Tower page and I click on videos and it shows me my videos, and I'll go date added oldest. There we go. And we will shoot back all the way to the very beginning. And Dice Tower Prep with Tom Vasel and Sam Healy. Well, I don't think that one counts because that was just basically a quick video we threw up to show what we did. And yeah, that was January 25th, 2008. And I think the first thing I put up was, the first real thing was the top 100 games of all time in 2008, and that was August 26th. That's when the channel really started. So yes, we put up our first video 10 years ago on the 25th, but I think I'll celebrate August 26th more because that's when we started. Although that particular video only has 21,000 views, which you think it would have more having been on the internet that long. And then I start watching it and I'm like, what? What is it at the highest? It's 240p. So it's pretty bad. All right. You know, one of the things that when it comes to playing live games, I feel like I'm really good at knowing if a game will be good live or not. Now, occasionally I make a mistake, and sometimes we'll play a game live and it doesn't go over well at all. That happens, especially, but like at the marathon, I got that almost down to a science. Almost every game, I think, at the marathon was somewhat interesting to watch. There's a lot of games people say, will you play this one live? Well, I don't know. And we're probably hardly ever going to play a complicated game live for the first time or so. Besides, if you want to see us play a game live, we're actually, and you say, I really want a specific game, we're going to be letting people vote on which games we can play live, so people will have a chance to pick one, probably two of them. Lots of my children's toys come with highly detailed little plastic miniatures. Examples are birthday cakes, Shopkins, etc. They're dirt cheap. So why are miniature games so expensive? Well, I'd be curious if this highly detailed thing, because I have a lot of kids' toys and they're not highly detailed at all. In the thumbnail for your live Q&As, there's a graphic view as a scientist. Why? I don't know. I just like that one. That was made for a game, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. They put me into a game and I liked the art, so I kept it. Have I played Azul? Yes. Did I enjoy it? I did. Sunrises or sunsets? Oh, I like sunrises better. I like getting up rather than going to bed. Tom, I noticed there wasn't any pledge to play a game you guys online like there was last year. Is there a reason for this? Yes, we try to do things that don't jam up our workload. And the playing games online with people online was more difficult than we anticipated. I don't think it's worth it for us to offer things that don't help our show improve. I mean, I could say, hey, you pay a certain amount, you can come to my house and be a guest there for 2 weeks. That'd be great, but then I have to entertain you the whole time, and it would be very problematic. It would just cause a big wrench in my life. Now, the online plays are not bad. I didn't hate playing them with people. That's not that. It's just that they took a lot of time, and fitting them and scheduling them in was a lot of work. Having the contest for the live play is a great idea. Will we be seeing them happen outside the annual gaming marathons? You will. It was a good idea. Tom, do you get a lot of Last Jedi hating emails? I love the movie and regret saying so on the net. I haven't got too many emails about it. Honestly, if someone wants to email me and tell me they hate The Last Jedi, that's fine. If you hate it, that's fine. I don't see why my liking it is problematic for you, and vice versa. If you hate the movie, when I heard that people hated the movie, like I said, I was like, well, I couldn't believe that people would hate that movie. I thought this is easily one of the best movies I've ever seen. Best Star Wars movies. It was fantastic. But if someone disagrees with that, I'm like, I can't understand that. But I don't dislike that person or think their views, well, I might think their views a little crazy, but I don't need to get all upset about it, right? And I've seen sometimes people are like, I don't like this movie. What do you think? I'm like, oh, okay. Are we supposed to argue about this? Tom sounds different. Well, I hope not. Maybe the doppelganger finally got me. Arboretum hasn't been in print for like 2 years. I feel like they're missing a lot of sales with that one. There's always a lot of backseat salespeople when it comes to the game. They're like, if this game was out, these people would make a lot of money. Believe me, these folks know exactly how much money they'll make from games. And Arboretum, if it was in print today, would not make a lot of money. It really wouldn't. I'm sitting here looking at a wall of games over there, and almost every game on that wall will be out of print within 6 months. Within 6 months. Well, we're not even going to get all those games reviewed by that time. Now, there's a couple games there that might last longer than that, but most of them are not going to. It's just how it is. People move on to the next game. You would say, no, but I like looking back at older games. But really, you don't. When I go back and do my look back videos each year, and I go back to 10 years ago, I'm like, yep. There's maybe one game every 2 look backs from 10 years ago that people are still playing. Maybe. That's like 26 a year. That's not that many. And that's a super positive estimate. I never did play Red Dead Redemption. I never played that game. It didn't come out for any system that I had. I only have the Switch and a Mac. And the only reason I played Skyrim is I used to have a PC way back when Skyrim came out, but I no longer have it. Where do you get your background music for your intros and outros so you don't have to worry about copyright? There are multiple sources for music that you can use legally on the internet. Some of it I bought, some of it I have access to. What do you think about the possibility of someone making a HeroScape game in the future now that it seems the patent has been bought, or the trademark has been bought? So yeah, I saw a thread on HeroScapers where someone got the trademark for HeroScape, but apparently they only have the trademark for the name, essentially. They don't have the trademark for the terrain and all that, which seems like a big giant mess. So they're going to make a new game and call it HeroScape, which seems confusing to people, or what. And it's not a company, it's an individual who bought it, and that's always a little risky. I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm definitely not getting excited about it. Better invest in Bitcoins instead of Google stock. Well, maybe. We'll see in 5 years. What are your thoughts about how the marathon went, especially in regard to how the cameras were set up for filming? I thought it went pretty well. It was easily our most watched marathon. We broke 1,000 one time before that, people watching. And this time we went up to 1,700, and for almost the whole marathon had 1,000 people watching, which was pretty cool. That was really neat. I mean, even in the morning there was like 600 people watching. That was crazy. How many people are watching this right now? Like 500. Nothing. You know, it was just amazing how many people watched and the comments, and everyone seemed to have a good time. And not every game went over like gangbusters, but most of them did go over very well. And when we were done, no one was punching each other at the end of the marathon. We all went out to eat together, had a good time, said goodbye, and then went our separate ways and all went to bed, basically. Will you be creating the exact same content for Twitch that you're creating for YouTube? And yes, we will be. Will the top 10 players be games that are exclusively 2-player that can scale to 2-player? No, games that you can play 2 players. I think that other than that's nonsense. You know, we have this argument every year when it comes to Dice Tower Awards. Like, what is the best game for 2 players, right? And someone's like, well, that game can play 2 to 3, for example, Santorini. It's a 2-player game. It plays wonderfully with 2 players. It doesn't matter if it plays 3, 4, 5. It plays fantastic with 2. And I'm always a little mind-boggled why then people could, if I'll say this is a great 2-player game, I'm like, well, yeah, but it plays up to 4. So? But it's a great 2-player game. That's what matters. Rahdo's probably the king of this because that's all what he plays things is 2 players. And so, you know, if you want to know if a game is good 2 players, he'll tell you. Dice Tower put on an amazing event with the marathon and was a blast to follow along. Can't wait for next year. I don't read that to show off, but you said wait for next year. But if we reach our next stretch goal, we'll be doing another one this year. We did 2 last year. How do you donate to the show even after the Kickstarter is over? We'll have some way to do so. We'll talk about it after it's over. You reviewed the last roller coaster game when you were rather disappointed. Inspired me to try and design a roller coaster game you like. What would make you happy in a roller coaster game? I don't know. Roller coasters are cool, right? It's the actual seeing the roller coaster thing happen that makes me happy. That's why Roller Coaster Tycoon is such a cool thing. What toppings do you like in your hot dog? Ketchup, mustard, or both? Well, not ketchup. Ketchup is an abomination on a hot dog. Honestly, mustard is an optional thing for hot dog. What is required for hot dog? Onions. I could eat a hot dog with just onions, but onions and relish is good. Onions and mustard is good. Onion mustard relish is good. Chili cheese is good. Chicago style is really good. Sauerkraut, kraut dog is an amazing thing. Plain hot dog is okay, but I like some sort of sauce on them if possible. Even like a chili sauce on it is not too, like a chili pepper sauce on it. But chili cheese, sauerkraut, kraut dog. I'm going to go with kraut dog is probably my favorite. Let's see. A lot of these questions I've already answered. I noticed no things I like to hit with a hammer segment in breakfast this morning. Run out of things or didn't want to carry your Harley Quinn mallet to cool stuff. That was the second one. Although there was one moment in the marathon where I said this would have been a great time to have the hammer and I would have used it. But yeah, that would have... We were already taking all hot stuff up there and back. Which of your kids is most likely to take over the mantle from you and continue to Dice Tower in the far, far future? Probably none of them. Who knows? What's my dream car? My dream car is a Volkswagen Punch Buggy. I don't know why. I just always wanted to have a Beetle. I haven't watched today's board game breakfast, but what exactly defines a hipster gamer? Neat beard, top knot? No. How someone looks doesn't define who they are. Come on, get happy. With a lot of YouTubers moving to Patreon or similar for funding, have you considered that as an option rather than Kickstarter? That would never work for what we're trying to do, I don't believe. We would need to match where we are currently on our Kickstarter, we would need to make $20,000 a month on Patreon. And I don't think that would go well. And I would have to be constantly all year round saying, please give us money, please give us money, please give us money. And that would be problematic. Do you throw your Scythe expansions into base box? If so, do you remove the minis from the plastic trays? I almost always remove minis from plastic trays. Sometimes the plastic trays are so beautiful, like the ones that came in Grim Forest, that it'd be a crime to do that. But those like plastic trays that CMON puts their stuff in, nah. I just put mine in bags and put it in the box. It's okay. They're just toys. Any games in marathon that you couldn't get to and because you ran out of time? Oh, lots. There were lots of games we cut. There were games I brought in extra. It's no big deal. I know that's going to happen every year. Things will go long. Things might go faster. Either way, we're always prepared. I've heard radio guys say they fear they are one poorly worded sentence away from destroying themselves. Can you relate? You mean like saying something that's so horrible no one will ever forgive you? I don't necessarily believe in that. My goal would not be to say anything so horrible. But if I accidentally misspoke at some point, I would hope that me saying I didn't mean that, or let me explain it, or I apologize, would fix it. Obviously, things I've said in the past have caused great angst amongst people, specifically, I guess, the local game store thing. And that one still kind of mind boggles me because it feels like, especially in that situation, that a lot of people did not, frankly, listen to what I said. But people get over it and they look for the next thing. So I'm not that worried about it. I do not wish, there are times I say things I'm like, that seems like I should not have said that thing there. I got to be careful what I say here. And I suppose there are things you could say that could completely destroy you, but I can't imagine why I would ever say those things. Is the expansion for Magic Maze coming to North America? I think so. Let's see here. How do you keep things positive when dealing with criticism? Really impressed with how you respond even in less friendly places like Reddit. I'm doing an AMA on Reddit. Is it tomorrow? It's soon. Or is it Thursday? I should probably look that up. It's not today. I don't know. I mean, it bugs me sometimes that there are people who literally don't like me. And actually, Reddit is not the meanest place these days. There's Facebook groups. And someone will say something and, my Facebook scroll pulls everything in. I run multiple searches across the internet for my name, for Dice Tower and all these things just to keep track of everything that's going on. And it always never ceases to surprise me. Someone will say, hey, Dice Tower's running a Kickstarter, and people will talk about my hat, my beard, how ugly I am, how arrogant I am, how rude I am, or whatever. And it's, sometimes you're like, have I even met some of these people? And they seem to actively dislike me so much. I've watched movies before where I've seen a character or TV shows. Sometimes people say, why don't you watch this show? And I'll be like, man, I just dislike every character on that show. They're just characters, they're just acting. But I just have this visceral, ugh. And maybe that's what people have when they see me. And that's kind of annoying, I guess. But I would prefer everyone to like me. And it seemed like in 2017 that more people showed up out of the woodwork to say just exactly how much they did not like the Dice Tower, or me specifically. But you can't let that stuff get you down, because you have to realize that for every person who actively says they don't like you, there are many, many people who do seem to like me. And you know what? Even if you all who are watching right now despised me, I'm very fortunate that when I'm done with this Q&A, I'm going to be able to get in my car with a daughter who loves me and drive home to a wife who loves me and 5 other daughters and a son who love me, and see my friends here who, even though they give me grief about every single possible thing that you can imagine, they really do love me, and to have people in my church who love me. And I've met many people on the internet, and there's so many great folks in the Dice Tower and people I meet at conventions, and I'm blessed by that so much and above. And it would be really hard for me to concentrate on a few negative Nancys and Debbie Downers instead of looking at the very positive network that's out there and just all the positive things that come from that. And even if all of that was gone, as a Christian, I believe in God, and so that would sustain me. And then I also have a fantastic wife. And so this negative stuff, I don't like it, and some days I get really irritated about it. Just like if you stub your toe, you get irritated, and then it goes away, and you're like, I guess it wasn't really that big of a deal. Maybe I shouldn't have shouted so much. It's a very similar thing to that. So I don't know that I'm any more positive than the next person. In fact, there's some people I meet, I'm like, wow, they're just always positive, right? But how can we get upset with all the blessings that we have? All right. Do you ever think you'll ever retire the Tom Thinks segment? It's become such a cornerstone of Board Game Breakfast. Would you ever just drop it? I don't think I would. There's always something I can think about, I guess. Why does your watch have different color bands? I came with the black band, right? And that's why I bought a blue band. Then I was like, I'll do half blue, half black. What do I care? Let's see. So Plan B bought Eggertspiel. Does that mean they will be printing Great Western Trail? It does mean that indeed. You will see Great Western Trail coming from Plan B. What were your New Year's resolutions? I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I think you should just make a resolution when you want to make a resolution. If you want to make it New Year's, that's fine. But for me, I just say I'm going to do this. Like I started eating more healthy before New Year's. I didn't wait for New Year's. Let's just start now. When is the tour of Jason's collection video coming out? Well, I have good news for you. The answer to that question is tomorrow. It's 30 minutes long, and it's like really light. They're like, here, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, moving around, and seeing all these things. It's just too quick, probably, and a little too dark in places, but at least you will see the grandioseness of the Jason's collection. Too many games, really. What did you think about the tiebreaker during the Blood Rage at the marathon where Sam did an arm wrestle? That was fun. Yeah, sure, I'm all for that. Do you think that we of the gaming community have more than our share of people on the autism Asperger's spectrum? I ask out of love, wondering if we need to be more aware and understanding of them. If we do, and I don't know if we do or not, but if we do, I think that would be a good thing because that means that those people are finding something that they can spend time with. Let's see here. Ketchup is a must on hot dogs. Ugh, no. What do you think of the recent Nintendo Direct? I have no idea what that's even. Oh, is that the Nintendo that hooked up to the system? That's fine. You know what? It's interesting because these old games are fun, but I was talking to the kids or someone else the other day about these old Atari games, and they're great. We're like, oh, we played Pac-Man and we played Space Invaders and stuff, but those games get boring really fast. I mean, like with Pac-Man, you just move around, you're memorizing a pattern, and you go to the next level and you memorize a pattern, and almost all those games, whether it's the hamburger, the stuff landing on your hamburger or what, all those games were the same way, memorize these patterns to beat them. That's very nostalgic that we feel for these, but they're not that interesting. I can go play Skyrim for hours and hours and hours and never be bored because there's different interesting things happening and there's so many weird, unique combinations. And so while those old games are fun to play for a little while, they're not fun to play for a lengthy amount of time. Now, yes, I could go back and I could play the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and go back and play Zelda and Metroid for the Super Nintendo. Those are great games and they're fun and I could go through them, but they really lack the depth sometimes compared to modern games. I know the old games are better. Yeah, some of them were very, very good, but they just don't have that diversity. Like I can go play Super Mario, but when you're done with Super Mario, you're done. I can go play the new Super Mario for the Switch, and I can spend hours in that just running around, do all kinds of fun, cool, unique things. So I think sometimes we have these rose-covered goggles when it comes to stuff of the past. Have you ever seen anyone put padding on a dice tower to quiet the rolls? Yes, I have seen people do that. I like the noisy rolls myself, but I've seen people do it. How long did it take to set up for the marathon? I want to say it took us 3 hours maybe to set up, and then we came in and did some more setup the next day. And it took us about 20 minutes to take it down. We were ready to get out of there. There was also 3 of us setting up, and there was 14 people taking down. A Volkswagen bag with that family. Are you circus clowns? Well, I'm not sharing it. Just me and my wife. Cruising along in a Beetle. Is there a way to see who watched the marathon the most? Nah, we never know who's watching and who's not. So like right now, I know that there's 484 people watching this Q&A, but I don't know who they are except people who make comments, really. Any thoughts about the lottery? Someone won $450 million in Florida. Maybe he likes board games. Maybe he does, but I don't know that would change anything. It's funny to me that whenever there's a huge lottery, people who I know who normally would never buy a lottery ticket suddenly buy them because they're like, well, it's so much money. And I say, but that means your chances are even less than normal. But I guess people just can't get away from that hope, that hope that they'll win this huge amount of money. I have never bought a lottery ticket. I have considered it in my past. Then I'm like, come on, Vasel, it's just throwing money away. And there's no fun in it even. Like, I can see, and I've done in the past, I'll go to the fair and I'll throw rings at bottles and to see if I can win a prize. I don't care about the prize really. I just like throwing the rings at the bottle and see if I can do it. That game itself is fun. I'm not sure the actual scratching off of a ticket is fun. I guess there's the thrill of winning, right? But I don't know. Mathematically. Tom, did you get your Apple Watch repaired under warranty? Yeah, I did. It was free to get it fixed. That was nice of them. What do you do to keep occupied during long flights? Oh, honestly, the iPad is enough, right? Because it has books. I can read books on it. It has comics. I can read comics. It has games. I can read games. It has places I can type and work. It has music that I can listen to. It has it all. I got the Switch, and I said, I'll take it with me when I travel. I still have not done so for a couple of reasons. One, if I take the Switch, I'm taking away from my kids, right? So, I mean, I'm not, they can live with that. But it's also bigger. The iPad just slides right into something. The Switch is small, but it still has handles and stuff. It's just not as easy, and it's just not as diverse. That tablet is so great. So the tablet keeps me occupied pretty much the whole time. Can we see the dice towers in the Kickstarter? Well, yeah, I just put them up a video of me showing it off. Favorite Vas character? Well, I haven't played the new ones yet, so I'm only going off the old ones, and it's probably the Knight. Have you used the garlic sauce with hot dogs? Yeah, garlic is good in everything, though. Your hat used to bother me, but now I put a sticky note over it. No reason to hate. Yeah, this is something that comes back to me. Sometimes I'll see someone wearing something. I was watching some people in a rock band. I was watching them sing and dance. I forget where it was. And I was like, what a kooky outfit. Then I thought, Tom, now think about what you're saying. You're saying someone else's kooky outfit. And I thought, I guess they can wear what they want, But yet we tend to judge people by what they wear. And I distinctly remember the moment when I was looking through my tie collection. That seems odd, but I had a tie collection. And I became pastor at the church, and I went through my ties, and I got rid of all the crazy ties and some serious ties. And when we moved to America, and I was like, why do I care what tie I wear? I'm going to wear what I want. I'm going to wear the hats I want. I'll wear the t-shirts I want. I'll wear the socks I want, and I don't really care. And people make fun of me about it all the time. At church, it's a general joke, the socks that I wear, because I wear very brightly colored socks. And obviously, people on the internet like to make fun of my hats. But you know what? I like wearing them. So I can live with people making fun of that sort of thing. And I'm pretty comfortable with that. I don't feel like I'm copying other people with what I do. And if it does tend to copy someone else, it's not meant to. I try to do my own thing. I know my ties. I don't think anyone wears the same kind of ties I do. But even if they did, what does it matter? It's fun for me. And so, when people say, I hate your hat, that one never gets me upset because I've chosen this hat. If someone said something like, I hate your face, not much I can do about that. But I chose hat. So if you don't like it, that is what it is. Have I beaten Jason in a game lately? I feel like I did, but I beat him in You Betcha. My review of that goes up tomorrow. Well, a lot of people are saying some very nice things about criticism. Here's the thing, though. I don't. I don't. I don't want to say that you should never be able to criticize people, right? It's not that, and I don't want the Dice Tower to be like a SWAT team where someone says Tom Vasel is not very smart with board games, and then a bunch of people come in and you shut up and beat that person down. I don't want that, right? That's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It feels good when you watch it. You're like, yeah, try to tell it, but it shouldn't be that way, right? We don't want to be that way. So if people want to criticize things, and then again, I criticize things all the time. It's my job. I criticize board games, and I'm mean. I'm one of the meanest reviewers out there in many regards. I'll say really nasty things about board games, and I think that's useful to people watching, right? But I try not to say them about the people themselves. But it can come into play that way, and you could say mean things about a person without saying mean things. Be like, Tom, you're a great guy and you're nice, but your hat is really, really ugly and you smell. So you didn't say necessarily anything that I'm bad, but you're saying things about me that I associate with me, and so I could feel a little bit bad. Why don't I wear a wedding ring? I really should get my wedding ring fixed. I'm letting my hand heal. My finger just got too fat. I could barely get the wedding ring off, and when I finally lost enough weight to be able to get it off, I just haven't got it resized yet, that's all. But there's a couple good things. First of all, I have, and this is the straight up honest truth, in my whole life I've never had any woman make a pass at me. So, I mean, it comes figure the way I look, right? I wouldn't expect that, so that's good. So whether my ring isn't protecting me from that, and my ring shows my love for my wife, honestly, but if you doubt my love for my wife, I'm sorry, but I love her very much. So, but I still would like to get it, just get it fixed. I just need to get around to doing it. Was 2017 your best year for the Dice Tower? I don't know. It was a very good year. I don't know if it was the best year for the Dice Tower. When your daughters bring home a boy for the first time, will you be shining a shotgun or will you be invited in to play games instead? First of all, it's happened. I don't want to be that guy. First of all, I don't have a shotgun or any gun, but I don't want to be that guy who's like, want to look at my knife collection and be threatening, because I don't see how that's a good way to start a relationship off with a possible son-in-law. So I don't know. I haven't really dealt with it too much yet. Melody's about to go to college. I'm sure she'll meet someone there. We'll find out what happens after that point. But I will try my best to get along with them. Why wouldn't I? With such great success coming from Plan B games in Century and Azul and their quick growth, do you think there will be high expectations for Reef? Yes, but my high expectations for Reef are that Emerson Matsuuchi's design. Based on math and the way he's handling these questions in order, he'll... Jack, your math has failed you. The collection was too dark. It's not like he has a dark collection. It's actually pretty shiny because there's shrink wrap on like 90% of it. Cut the cost of their shipping. That's a good one. How do I get him? What do I do? She looks at me and rolls her eyes. Dice Tower is sponsored by Buy. It is not sponsored by Buy. I've emailed Buy to see if we could get sponsored by that. When is your next crowdfunding episode? Wednesday. You were right about chicken chop chop. What other food should we try that you love besides key lime pie? Well, bude chige is amazing. Bulgogi is an amazing food. Yeah, chicken chop chop is delicious. Assume you have a cow. Do you keep it for a lifetime or milk, or make it into 1 week of steak dinners? Steak dinners, man. Also, have you had a cow? If you're eating a cow in 1 week, a cow's like a good month or 2 months if you're eating steak dinners every night. So that's the easy choice there, especially since I'm not a huge fan of milk. I don't dislike milk lovers. I just am like, meh, I don't care about it. When all you had was Commodore 64, those games were fun. Oh, sure. You know, they were fun back then, and I had a great time playing them. It's just that they're hard to compare to the ones that you play now. Let's see here. Tom, during the holiday season, I saw at least twice where LCR hopped onto the hotness on Board Game Geek. What would be your theory on why? Anything can hop onto the hotness, and then the hotness is self-perpetuating. If something's on the hotness, you click it, you're like, why is this on the hotness? Who knows? It could have been an advertisement. It could have been anything, really. How do you decide which games to put the seal of excellence on? Well, according to our new video, if it has 8.5 rating or higher, that's how we decide. What's your favorite James Bond film? We were just talking about this, actually. GoldenEye, probably. I don't know, maybe not GoldenEye. From Russia with Love? Spectre? Am I like hitting everyone? Am I making everyone happy? Let's see. Do you have extended family on yours or my wife's side who are into board games? No, my father does not play board games at all. Now that my mother's died last year, he'll play even less of them. I mean, my father played board games with us as a kid, but he did it because it was a family activity, not because he liked board games. Laura's parents play a few card games, but not much. Laura's brother plays a little bit of card games, but not much. That's her whole side of the family. My sister likes Killer Bunnies and like some board games, but they don't really go out of their way. My other two brothers don't really play board games. My other sister, yeah. So in our whole extended families, between me and my wife, there's not much board gaming going on. They will play board games when I bring them, and my family, my brothers and sisters love party games like going out of business. I mean, we play Balderdash to death, but they're not real big on board games. I wouldn't want to win 200 million, but it'd be cool to win 2 million. I think it'd be cool to win like $2, honestly. How sick were you during the marathon? Oh, I wasn't. I felt great the whole time. I just had the sniffles, that's all. Some of the lottery fun is dreaming about what you do if you somehow win, but couldn't you dream that way without entering the lottery? The chance of winning the lottery are exactly the same no matter the size of the jackpot or number of people playing. It's not a raffle. Well, I mean, your chance of winning the big pot go down the more people who are playing. That's just basic math. The more people who play, the less your chance of winning. If 1 million people enter, you know, and then if 10 million people enter, that's the week where it's bigger, obviously your chance is now 1 in 10 million as opposed to 1 in 1 million of winning the big one. Did you follow any other game reviewers before you started doing any of your own reviews? Not really. When I started doing reviews, there wasn't many reviewers out there. The only one I knew at the time was Greg Schlosser, and I started reading him as I was posting my own reviews. For video reviews, I mean, I obviously watched Scott Nicholson's video reviews before I did my own. I was writing mine at the time, and I was like, man, he looks like he's having fun doing these video reviews. And it is more fun. I just late pledged for 7th Continent after seeing your review and live play, but I noticed it's not in your top 100 games. Wondering if it would be now or if it's in your top 200. I had not played it when I initially made my top 100 list. Let's see here. What's the worst reaction you've ever had showing someone new to the hobby a game? I remember teaching someone a game one time. I forget what the game was, and they didn't want to learn it. They were very much opposed to it. So I was like, all right, well, let's do something else. And like, no, we'll play this game. I'm like, no, look, you're clearly not enjoying this. It's okay. I don't need to play this game. And they insisted on playing the game and insisted on not having fun, which were two insistences that I would think would be kind of like in two different ways. Too many games be the name of Jason's collection video. Yeah, that's possibly. What would Scythe need to add to be in your top 100? Who says it's not now? You'll never know. You have to watch next year. Let's see. Has any game replaced Kemet for you? No, not really. I've not seen the Orville. I have not read the Red Rising series. Who could always fool you in a trader game? Lots of people could. I'm not that good at reading people. I will not say that. That's for sure. What's the hardest part about the day-to-day runnings of the Dice Tower? Just keeping up with emails. There's so many of them. Keeping up with all the social media and stuff. But I got Kenny now helping me with that. So hopefully we'll do better about that. Let's see. When you do Dice Tower does your wife usually come with you? Yes, she does. Every woman now needs to make a pass at Tom at every convention. Yeah, no. No, my wife is always very content that it never happens. I never get back from anywhere and she's like, where were you? She knows. Like, we just did the marathon. She could watch us where we were. If you had $50 to spend on a game, what would it be and why? I'd go buy some accessories for a game. I'd go buy some dice probably. Guys, you know which is the Dice Tower's Twitch channel? Oh, we don't have it yet. That's why. Do you like Scrapple? It's okay. 2017 was a year of overcoming unexpected obstacles for the Dice Tower. That's legit. I think there certainly was a lot of obstacles that came our way. All the women are too busy hitting on Z? Possibly. 1 to 10, how much do you like poker? 4. And you're like, what? That's because poker's okay, but you need the stakes for it to work. And I don't want to bet real money on it, so there needs to be something else. I like the idea of poker. It just doesn't work out as well as I would like it to. Can you recommend a gaming spot in Miami? Oh yeah, the Cool Stuff store in Kendall. I'll be there tomorrow night. Come on out. Tom, how long does it take you to switch to writing the New Year correctly? It's not. I mean, I get it right away. Actually, just that I'll fall back and make mistakes as time goes by. I don't actually write the date too many times. I type it. I don't write checks or anything like that. So, for the most part, it's not too big of a problem. What's the next convention you'll be looking forward to? Give me a few more days and we will announce all the conventions we're going to. Some people's internet is slowing down, is it? Let me look. It says good on my end, but I don't know. All right, well, sorry about the drop frames and sorry for the choppy. Well, my apologies. All right. What if one of your daughter's fiancé says the preferred board game is Monopoly? I would say that's fantastic. You like Monopoly? Let me show you 10 games that are just like it. Why not? What about flavored milk? Assuming you have an almond tree, a lifetime of silk, a milk substitute, or one night of bonfire and almond snacks. I'll go with the bonfire and almond snacks. Laura's family plays Rook. They do like Rook, yes. Carter City or Dark Horse with Tom as a character? Carson City, I'm sorry. Carson City's a better game. I like Dark Horse, it's okay, but Carson City is a much better game, and who cares if I'm a character in the game? It was funny, we just opened our SM box and all these promos came out, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting promo, I'll stick that in a game. And the rest I stuck in a drawer. I just don't care that much about promos myself. I'm glad people like them because they get them from our Kickstarter. And promos are neat and everything, but I don't need to have them, and I don't need to play as a specific character in a game. What's my favorite Robin Williams movie? I'm a bit schmaltzy on this sort of thing, you know. Probably Patch Adams. I know that Patch Adams was widely considered not to be a good movie, and that it actually went slightly not accurate according to the actual Patch Adams. I just liked it. I just like the idea of curing people with humor. I like that movie. I like Jumanji too a lot, the original one. I like him in a lot of stuff, but you know, I've always liked movies that make you feel good. So Patch Adams was that. There might be something else that I'm not thinking of. Okay, so people are arguing about the lottery. Okay, look, I understand that if people don't buy it, the prize gets bigger. But when the prize is bigger, more people do it. So even if you did win it, there's a chance that you will cross with someone else more so than if you did it before. It doesn't matter. Okay, when it comes down to it, folks, playing the lottery is a foolish decision. Now, if you want to do it, I'm not going to say you're a bad person. It's just a foolish mathematical division. Your chance of getting struck by lightning 10 times in your life is higher than you winning the lottery. It's just a really bad waste. You might as well just throw the money in a garbage can or support the Dice Tower. We'll have a lottery. All right, let's see. What would the Dice Tower look like in 10 years if money and other support continues to grow? Big ideas? I only ever have big ideas for this year, but I have big ideas for this year. I've already hired a 5th person here at the studio to help with background support and things, and you're going to see some increased output from me because of this on a personal level, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I have a lot of really cool ideas. Not all of them are going to come to fruition, and like I know that's taunting to say, you'll see what comes in the future, but the fact is that you'll just have to wait and see. Let's see here. We'll skip all this lottery stuff. Let's see. I wouldn't make a pass, but I'd totally give Tom a huge hug if he'd let me. Well, that's fine. I don't mind people hugging me. Although it really throws me off because I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I'm getting over it now. But in Pennsylvania, people didn't hug, at least in my family or city, in the Northeast and Allentown area near Philadelphia. You're lucky people like shake your hand there. And when I went down south and walked in the church and women were coming up and hugging me, and I was like, I don't know you. Did you try to take my wallet? What is going on here? It was very off-putting for a while, and I'm still a little thrown off. So if you ever come up and hug me at a convention and I seem a little stiff, it's because my family didn't hug that much. I hug my wife and my kids all the time, right? That's just natural. But for someone outside of that immediate family, it's always a little odd for me. Would the Dice Tower be interested in creating a contest for game designers? No. 1,000 times no. That means I would have to judge it, and I don't want to. Have you tried the Game Topper table? Yeah, it's a great one. Let's see. What's your favorite water park? Oh, my favorite water park is easily Aquatica with SeaWorld. Mostly because in the middle they have, what is that called? River Rapids or something? It's like a lazy river, but it moves really fast, and you can just sit in there and just zoom around it. Relaxation. I could sit in there for hours. It's amazing. I love water parks. I'd rather go to a water park any day instead of a amusement park. Let's see here. Are you excited for a Han Solo movie? I think so, but why haven't they made a trailer for it yet? It's kind of odd. I want to see a trailer for it. Popeye is amazing for Robin Williams' performance. Maybe. I've not seen the new Jumanji yet or not. Alrighty, well I think we're gonna end the Q&A there because it is time to go, and I need to look at this nonsense. I need a haircut so badly. That's the next thing I'm doing after this. But until next time, folks, thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. See you guys. All right. All right, so we're going to check out these new dice. Let's see. Okay, boring. It says GPI on it, so that's nice. These are the folks making my dice, so that's cool. What is this, a foam die? I didn't even make any noise. Very boring. But interesting. Alright, this one's a sticker die. That looks like a cut center. This is a 20-sided die. This one, what game would that be from? It shows a treasure chest. Oh, this is from that Tasty Minstrel game, I think. Nah, white with blue pips. It's a 20-sided, but it looks like a counting die. This looks like a weather dye, but it's not from Robinson Crusoe because there's a submarine on it. Skull and crossbones. I don't know what that game that's from. This was not gonna, that did not fit through. This one feels like a 3D printed one. Alright, let's see what we got next here. A die and a die. An 8-sided, a 12-sided, a 10-sided, a 6-sided. Ooh, this is colors. Tomorrow I will wear a... This is kind of convenient, actually. Another 20-sided die. 5 on a hand. I wonder what game that is. Let's see what happens. Go to sleep. Okay. Oh, these dice are blank. Let's see what I get. 2 blanks. Let's try the bigger dice tower now. Okay, a 12-sided. I don't like that one. Well, that one's okay. Another white with blue dice. This is just a cube. A brown die. Come on, let's find something new and unusual. 8-sided. A wooden die. Oh, a letter. Okay, I gotta think of 3 words that start with the letter. O. Only, onions, and ostriches. Huh, I didn't think that one would go through. It doesn't go through the last one. Who built this? It should have gone through the whole thing. That's weird. It doesn't go through the very bottom part, but it goes through the rest of it. Weird. All right. A green. All right, this has some pictures on it. I rolled a cow. Moo. 12-sided. This has colors and numbers. All right, looks like Uno dice. 6 blue. All right, letter. I'll name 3 names that start with this. A. Alice, Amy, and Amelia. Although, isn't that the same thing as Amy, maybe? Seems like a cheat. That's another double-sided one. Oh, I rolled a 3. That's pretty cool. All right, 2 pictures. I got a windmill and underwear. I think that might be a sign. This says long shot. That's not from the game Long Shot, is it? I don't think it has dice like that. Oh, here's another one. Let's see what I roll on this one. A witch's hat. I think this is also from that Tasty Minstrel thing. That's a wizard's hat, actually. All right. Oh, this is a... Man, I like that die. This looks sharp. That's cool. Did I just drop a chip through the dice tower? Not my best of days. All right, let's see. Another picture. What will I get? A fan. Must mean I'm hot. Like I'm that kind of hot. It's a big... Okay, that die did not work. This die is an orange die with numbers on it. It has 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. An igloo. Okay, this is a 100-sided die. I rolled a 90. That's actually a pretty cool looking die. Oh, this looks like one of the dice from the Western game. I got a jack. Now I got the 9 of spades. Ooh, a letter. Name 3 foods to start with this letter. H. Hot dog, hamburger, and horseradish sandwich. There's another one. I will name 3 candies that start with this letter. H. Oh, no, that's not so good. Can't think of any candy that starts with H. Hershey's. Oh, thanks. Hershey Kiss, Hershey Bar, and Hershey's Chocolate. Ooh, this is the nicest die of all.